ABC News contributor and former U.S. ambassador to NATO, Lieutenant General Doug Lute. So, Doug, we just heard President Biden speaking to our David Muir, calling Putin's suspension of the new START nuclear arms treaty a big mistake. Do you agree?
Well, I agree, although in practice, not much has changed. I mean, it's been some time now since, in effect, Russia has abrogated that same treaty. So, for example, they've denied on-site inspections. That is our access to their nuclear sites. They've denied participation in a committee that's designed to open a channel of consultation between the U.S. and Russia. They've simply denied participation. And so for some time, Russia has, in effect, already suspended the terms of that treaty. So, in effect, Putin had a rhetorical point with regard to this suspension, but in practice, not much has really changed.
So Putin now meeting with China's top foreign policy official in Moscow, also inviting Chinese President Xi to visit Russia. The two countries clearly reaffirming their ties, right? As EU officials are now voicing concern that China could consider providing lethal aid to Russia. So does NATO need to strengthen itself and make sure it's aligned in response?
Well, NATO's watching this very carefully. And in effect, China's trying to have it both ways. On the one hand, China espouses support for the two key international principles, that is territorial integrity and national sovereignty. And on the other hand, it has this, as they say, limitless partnership with Russia. At the end of the day, China won't be able to maintain this balance indefinitely. It can't have it both ways.
Well, President Biden, during his trip to Poland, as you know, met with the leaders of the Bucharest Nine, those countries along NATO's eastern flank closest to Russia. What do you think of Biden's message to them? And which of those countries do you think has the most at stake here as NATO confronts Russia's aggression?
Well, the 9 countries he met with are either members of NATO already, or in the case of Sweden and Finland, soon to be members. So NATO serves as their sort of national life insurance policy. And what I think his key message was that they can count on NATO to perform as advertised. And that is that those 9 countries ought to be certain that the United States has their back and that NATO has their back. And as those states closest to Russia, and in the case of the 7 NATO allies, states that were either Soviet socialist republics or part of the Warsaw Pact not that long ago, this was a very important message.
So the UN General Assembly also set to vote on this resolution calling for Russia to immediately withdraw from Ukraine today. Do you think that will have any impact?
Not much. Again, there are some 190 countries in the United Nations General Assembly. 140 some have already expressed support against the Russian invasion and with regard to U.S. sanctions and so forth. So I don't think this is much more than a show of support that's already been expressed at the United Nations. But it's good to have 140 nations on our side.
Lieutenant General Doug Lute, appreciate your time.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.